And welcome to Drizzle Land, Drizzle Show Wrestling Edition for May. Yes, May. May. So we've had a very interesting past, few weeks, I would say, in wrestling, honestly. We've seen a lot of changes throughout a lot of companies, a lot of people coming in, and a lot of talent leaving and going to other companies. Let's start with the Ring of Honor situation. So, we've had a lot of great matches in Ring of Honor of late. The Young Bucks versus the Briscoes, that rivalry has been going on for a while, and I really dig it. I like that the Motor City Machine Guns are in the picture. And then we have, obviously, lots of other tag teams that are involved in the division. We've seen Bully Ray a lot, which I kind of like. I kind of dig. I'm glad that he's still involved in professional wrestling. Um, Truth Martinez, the rivalry that he has with Jay Lethal, I think has been helping Ring of Honor promote their streaming network with Honor Club is up and running, by the way, if you guys are Ring of Honor fans. I have not signed up yet, but I probably will in the near future. You can watch all the old episodes of Ring of Honor TV. They have all the pay-per-views, basically new programming. It's a great service. I've talked to other people who have it, and they're really happy that it's up and running, and that they're basically able to watch Ring of Honor whenever they want to. Fox here airs Ring of Honor. I just finished watching it myself. So I saw Kelly Klein versus Madison Rayne, which was a very good women's match. Oh my God. I mean, that was amazing. Um, we also got to see the Dogs versus the Motor City Machine Guns. Um, Several other matches were on the card as well. I was pretty impressed with Ring of Honor TV this week. I thought it was very, very well played out. And possibly Bully Ray has officially unretired from Ring of Honor, so he might be in matches now, which might be good for the company as well going forward. Um, we saw a few people from the Ring of Honor minor leagues, I guess, be up on the TV as well this week. Who I can't remember the two people's names, but they weren't too bad actually. The match was pretty good up until the match got interrupted by Bully Ray. But um, I don't know. I'm pretty impressed with Ring of Honor so far. I like what they're doing with Cody and Marty Scurll and a bunch of the other talent as well. I don't know. I think Ring of Honor is getting so much better, honestly. Every single time I watch it. Um, so Impact Wrestling, we've seen a lot of changes to Winter. Katie Lee, Katie Lee Virgil. She's back. I'm not really sure that's going with the women's division with the knockouts, but I think that is not a bad decision by them at all. She's a plus talent. She's proven it in WWE and Impact before. I think bringing her into the company and having her maybe have a feud with Taya Valkyrie or Rosemary or Allie, I think that would be a good idea for them. I'm not quite sure what's happening with Sienna. If anybody can give me an idea why Sienna's not involved in the women's knockout division anymore, I'm not quite sure there. Um, but Impact, I think, is slowly but surely getting better because they're focusing on the younger talent, and I think that that's what they should have done a long time ago. Getting rid of Patron was not a terrible thing. Now they can kind of focus on the people who are there, who are helping the company. Um, I don't know. Every time I watch an episode of Impact now, I feel like it's getting better as time goes on. Um, what I wish they would not focus on is the whole Josh Matthews thing. I think that they could just keep him out of the wrestling ring and just have him do announcing or maybe publicity. Maybe that would be an option for him. I just don't think he has any wrestling talent. I don't think he should be even wrestling in the company. That's just my opinion. I mean, you have Matt Taven, for example. You know, he's very talented. Congo Kong actually isn't bad. Um, I mean, KM isn't a bad wrestler either. I mean, LAX, for example, OVE. I mean, Sammy Callahan. They've got plenty of talent there to work with. It's just they need to have writers that can develop the storylines better. And Johnny Impact, has anybody known what that whole situation is? I mean, are we going to see him again? Are we not going to see him again? Austin Aries, same thing. Like, where's he at now? Um, so what I really dig honestly in wrestling right now is that there's so much talent in all of these great companies, and they're really taking advantage of the foreign talent too, which I think is a great thing because the crossover like Pentagon Jr. In Impact, you know, when Lucha Underground versus Impact, I think that that was a great event that showed talent on both sides. And plus, Lucha Underground the new season is going to be airing soon, and I think that that's going to help build both companies. Um, because we don't want just one wrestling company in the world. We need more people to have places to go. So I think that right now, and trust me, like I feel that the barbed wire massacre match for Impact, I think, was very successful. I mean, the Eddie Edwards match between him and Callahan, I thought was phenomenally good. Eli Drake, I even think, is developing. Um, you know, Jesse Connors is now a member of Lucha Underground. A lot of former Impact superstars are going to be involved with Lucha Underground, and I think that that's great. You're going to have cross promotions, and the talent can go from one scene to the other scene and help both companies, and I think that that's great for everybody in the end. Um, I've been fairly impressed with the Knockouts division lately. I think that the action has been pretty good with Su Young there as well. I think the X division is getting better every single time that I watch a match in Impact. Um, Now, I used to be kind of, hard on Impact, but that was because the storylines didn't make any sense. Now they do. So now let's get into WWE. So the Greatest Royal Rumble, I thought was a great event. Wonderful matches, high class action. I thought the Greatest Royal Rumble was amazing. We got to see so many old talents in it. Was a little disappointed though in some of the match because we didn't necessarily get some of the people who were promised to us. Um, like I'm not quite understanding why there wasn't more cruiserweights involved in the match personally, but I am impressed with 205 Live. I think that 205 Live has gotten so much better, honestly, with Drake basically Drake Malfoy being involved. I'm sorry, Drake Maverick. Sorry, um, being involved in 205 Live. I think that he is really doing wonderful things with Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali and obviously Buddy Murphy, for example. There's just a few talents that are there. Kalisto, I think, has been very well uh, put over, I think, in that. And he was not doing that on the main roster, and I think that they needed that for him. Um, I like all the talent, honestly, in 205 Live. I think that they've been doing a great job, honestly, in that brand. NXT, I think, has been getting so much better because you're bringing in the new stars like Ricochet and EC3. You're having them compete against top talents. Heavy Machinery versus some of the newer tag teams, I think is great. War Machine is now an Impact, or not Impact. I'm sorry, NXT. I think they're called the War Raiders now, something like that. War Raiders, something. Um, the Street Profits, I think, are another great tag team for them. I am been very, very impressed, honestly, with Aleister Black. I think that he has been phenomenally, he's shown his talent in that promotion. And I think that the draft was a very big success. I'm sorry, success for WWE as well, because a lot of this talents got mixed up on different rosters. Drew McIntyre, is now on Raw with Dolph Ziggler as a tag team. I think that that's going to help both of them out in the future. Bobby Lashley's come back. I think that that's good for the company. Um, Brock Lesnar signing a new deal. I'm not quite understanding that whole thing. I don't know if it's going to be more of like a part-time run for him or what's happening after SummerSlam. We don't really know at this point. Um, Charlotte Flair has underwent surgery for dental work. She got injured, and she had several teeth knocked out on the European tour. So hopefully Charlotte will be back soon. Alexa Bliss also had surgery. Rey Mysterio is still injured, but he competed in the Greatest Royal Rumble. So we've had a lot of interesting things going on. Then we have the Backlash pay per view, which I finally had an opportunity to watch it all the way through. Um, the Nakamura AJ feud, I think, is it's interesting because Nakamura is a villain now, a heel. So we'll just have to see where that goes. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm just trying to think here. I know that they're pushing Elias now on Raw. Um, Cena, here's the thing about Cena is they made it so public about his relationship with the Bella twins and Nikki, and here's my thing. Um, that's a private matter for him and Nikki. I don't understand why they're making it so public for everybody to just speculate that he's with somebody else. Um, and I don't think that it's really has anything to do with professional wrestling at all. So what I think should happen with that is they should just drop it. Like, don't bring it up in interviews. Now, the rumors rampant are is that he's dating Carmella, which I don't know if that's true or not. That's just rumors I'm hearing online. I don't know, but I'm just saying keep that stuff out of professional wrestling. Like John Cena has been wrestling for so long that he was the WWE for so long and so many years that why don't they just give him the benefit of the doubt and just say, okay, let's not talk about your private life, not let's not branch it off to the media. I mean, let's just focus on the fact that he's still wrestling and that he's still a part of the WWE. Let me think here. And then most people keep talking about Enzo and stuff, and if the case is still going on, which it is, and he has pretty much said that he's not going to be involved in professional wrestling anymore. He's pretty much retired. He doesn't want to have anything to do with it. So he's going to pursue, I guess, some music career or something. I don't know at this point. That's what they're talking about. Um, the Daniel Bryan thing is, I think Daniel Bryan looked amazing at WrestleMania. I mean, even at the pay-per-view Backlash, I thought he looked great physical condition. He can still go. He's proven that. My thing right now is why would you have him have a feud with Big Cass when I don't know. That whole thing just doesn't make any bit of sense to me. Um, I would have rather seen him, fight somebody who is actually credible. uh, I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. But um, I don't know if they're trying to make Daniel Bryan look like he is not physically capable of wrestling anymore. I don't know in the storyline what's going on, but I just don't like it right now. I mean, why would you have him come back and out of retirement and then have him compete at these pay-per-views and then, bury him at the last pay-per-view to make him look horrible? Like, I just don't get that one single bit. Like, that's really stupid for creative. Like, whoever wrote that, I don't know what you were thinking. I don't know if you were like drunk or something, but like, what's up with that? Like, it doesn't make no sense whatsoever. So the rumors rampant are that Jason Jordan is coming back from his injury, saying that he could possibly be at another pay per view, Money in the Bank. Dean Ambrose has also been checked out. That his injury, the reason why it was getting worse, I guess, was because they weren't doing the physical therapy as often as he should have been. Um, but I expect him to come back sometime soon, honestly. I would probably say probably by Money in the Bank, I'm thinking. Don't quote me on that, though. I need to look up some information on it. Um, the WWE has been in contact with several indie wrestlers right now, actually. A former Knockouts champion, actually, has been contacted and might be involved in the women's division. So that's kind of going around right now. And the WWE is very interested in signing one of the former X Division champions, actually, as well. They've been contacting Davey Richards about possibly joining 205 Live. So that has been going around as well. Um, I think that we're living in very decent times for wrestling right now. We've got all these different promotions that are coming up. Rey Mysterio and Conan are going to be having their own promotion. Tommy Dreamer has his own promotion right now. Speaking of Tommy Dreamer, he will be involved in Lucha Underground, the new season, as well as Jack Swagger, Jesse Yonners, and many, many more talent is going there right now. New Japan, I've been very impressed with a lot of their pay per views recently. I think that they're getting more popular here in the States. And I like that. I think that New Japan has a lot of great talent there right now. Will Ospreay, for example, I think is one of their great talents that they've got. Um, and I'm trying to think here. Let me think. The Bullet Club is still going. I mean, we thought it was going to be disbanded, but I mean, it's still going. I mean, um, what would I rate the last New Japan pay per view I watched? I would say it was probably a 9. It was pretty decent, honestly. I like that they're doing the crossover talent exchange. I think that that's great. Same thing with Noah and AAA and a bunch of other companies. They're doing the same thing, and I think that that's great that wrestling is finally branching off. Um, so here's the thing about SmackDown. With the talent exchange and the draft, I think that SmackDown honestly has been getting better ratings for WWE, and Raw has kind of been the opposite a little bit. Raw has had good shows and bad shows lately. This past Monday Night Raw, I would say, was kind of a downer. I would say, my opinion, from a 1 to 10, I would give it probably like a 6.8. SmackDown, however, I probably would give it a 7.5. I think it was a much better show. So something needs to happen with Raw here because Raw's ratings are starting to get bad again. Um, but I do enjoy the tag team division on Raw. I think the women's division is pretty decent. Some of the main matches that they promote are okay. I just think that they need to kind of branch off a little bit and have some of the younger talent have opportunities. What I like about SmackDown is that a lot of the younger talent from NXT is on there now. Plus, Sanity is going to be coming to SmackDown as well in the near future. So they're talking, I believe, after Money in the Bank. So I think that we're not really sure who's going to be called up in Sanity, though. We're not sure if we're getting Killian Dane, Nikki Cross, Alexander Wolf, or Eric Young at this point. Has anybody even seen Eric Young on WWE programming in a while? I haven't. I'm hoping that he's still there because I think that they could really use him on SmackDown. Um, the Bludgeon Brothers, I think, is the tag team champions on SmackDown. I don't know if I really dig that. I think that the Usos are a better tag team. I think the New Day is also a better tag team. I'm kind of wondering what they're doing with R-Truth and Ty Dillinger. I'm not quite sure what that whole thing is about, what they're going to be doing with them. Um, the Iconics, Billy Kay and Peyton Royce, have been shining on SmackDown. Bravo, women. Bravo, ladies. You have been shining your stars bright on that show. You've been showing you have great capability of being great superstars for SmackDown. I commend you for that. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville also commend you for all your hard work so far. You're going to make SmackDown a great brand. Paige, general manager, I think is a great idea as well. Um, so I would say that wrestling is in a very good spot right now. We're getting a lot of different companies showing talent, doing everything you can possibly do to branch off. Um, are there any people out there who have Honor Club right now or GFW Network that you could kind of give me some input on, like what is on there, how to get it? Unfortunately, I don't have, um, you know, there's no apps for the 360, so I can't really watch either network right now. I can only get the WWE Network. Are there any other, or well, even New Japan has a network, I guess, now too. So if there's any way that you guys could figure out, give me some pointers on how to run that software, maybe on my Xbox 360, so I could watch that, so I could review some of those. That would be awesome. I know that Impact has Twitch TV. I might be getting on there at some point. But this is your wrestling update. I think that we're in a great place for wrestling, and the WWE is also in talks with bringing Hulk Hogan back. I'm not sure how people feel about that, but I think that it's been a few years. Maybe he could just be involved like in a few programming things, but obviously I wouldn't, do any more than that right now. But anyways, peace, and remember, we're all here for one thing. We're all wrestling fans. Too sweet, baby. Wrestling forever.